I just made this whole microphones video about how I bought microphone after microphone after microphone. And over the holidays, I bought wireless microphone after wireless microphone after wireless microphone. And I come to the conclusion that I need to settle down. I need to pick one and sell the rest. And I chose the Hollyland Lark M2. And I really like the Lark M2, but I had a couple of issues with it. It's got this big old wind muff. And when you put the wind muff on, you can't see the indicator light that tells you whether you're in normal mode or noise cancellation mode. Which brings me to my next point. You'll need to know when you're in noise cancellation mode because the audio doesn't sound the best. I also like the DJI Mic 2, especially since it works so well with the Osmo Pocket 3. And while I was making that video, I learned that the DJI Mic Mini works the same way. So.
Dang, is that you?
So when it comes to usability, both mics are pretty similar. They're almost identical when it comes to use case scenarios. The Mic Mini is magnetic and is clippable without having to add an extra accessory. The Lark M2 is clippable, but you have to add an accessory for it to be able to clip. They're very similar in size too, but even still, the Lark M2 sits more flush to your shirt when you have it attached magnetically. The Mic Mini kind of slouches over a little bit and pulls on your shirt while it's attached magnetically. And of course, the windscreen on the Mic Mini is smaller, more manageable, and just makes more sense. The windscreen for the Lark M2 is pretty big, and it almost defeats the purpose of having a small, discreet microphone. And speaking on discretion, you can actually turn the lights off for the DJI Mic Mini. I'm not so sure if you can do that for the Lark M2, but it just adds that much more to the discretion of the microphone. Okay, so when it comes to audio quality, I know from experience that DJI tends to favor the low end, so you get a much more bassy, deep sound from it. The Lark M2 tends to favor the highs and the mids. So it sounds great, but you don't get that bass that you might be looking for. Now, if you plan on editing audio, these things don't make that much of a difference to you. You may be more worried about things like noise cancellation, wind resistance, signal to noise ratio, and overall usability. If I'm in a situation where I'm using the DJI Mic Mini or the Lark M2, 9 times out of 10, I don't plan on editing audio. So the raw audio does make a lot of difference to me. So again, I feel like I gotta say this. This won't be the most technical review. It'll be use case, how I'm going to use the actual microphone. So I'm not gonna get too far into the specs and the text. It's not gonna be spectacular. Nah. I'm just going through these things to see which one works better in the cases where I might be using them. So when I came out here the other day with all the microphones, I was surprised at how well the DJI Mic 2 did with wind reduction, and there was no wind muff applied at all. It canceled out the wind pretty well without any accessories or without any help. So I'm curious to see if the DJI Mic Mini would do the same. We'll see. Let me see. If I can find some wind out here somewhere. There we go. A little bit of wind. So how's my voice sound on top of the wind? Curious. Okay, so if that wasn't good enough for a wind test, right now, it's a lot of noise going on. So while we're waiting on the wind to come through, let's check this noise cancellation to see what it sounds like. Okay, noise cancellation is off on the Lark M2. Now it's on. And now it's on the Mic Mini. So what does my voice sound like? When I came out here the other day, at least with the Lark M2, my voice sounded a little robotic, like auto-tune, but not so great, not the good auto-tune. So I'm curious to see how good it sounds now. Now both mics have 2 levels of noise cancellation. Both are on the higher level of noise cancellation right now. And it's pretty loud out here, so this should be a really good test. Okay, so noise cancellation is on right now, and now we're gonna turn it off. And that's what you would be hearing. So how big of a difference did that make? And there goes some wind. So now we got wind with no noise cancellation. And that's what we got, all right? All right, so we got the wind muffs on, and you see the size difference, how much bigger that Lark M2 is now, which is one of my few pet peeves with the Lark M2, and that noise cancellation. I'm trying to find some wind to show what these wind muffs are capable of. Let's see, there we go. So it's caught a gust of wind. I wouldn't guess that you would hear any wind right now because the wind muffs have proven to work pretty well. Okay, so that's the wind with no noise cancellation right now. But if we also want to add noise cancellation, you almost got to guess with the Lark Mark II because you can't look at it. It is on the device that's connected to the phone. Okay, so noise cancellation is on the Hollyland Lark Mark II, and noise cancellation is on the DJI Mic Mini. A little bit of wind blowing, good bit of wind now, yeah. So, and that's another issue. You don't always know if you're in noise cancellation mode with the Lark Mark II if you can't see the light. The light turns green if you are in noise cancellation mode, but you would have to look at the actual connecting device to see whether or not you are in noise cancellation mode. Otherwise, you don't know. And that's a big deal because if you don't like the way the microphone sounds in noise cancellation mode, maybe you don't want to be in that mode. But you don't know if you can't see the light. Can't see the light if you got this big old wind muff on. So points to the DJI for that part. And we'll get back in and see what they sound like. Because that's pretty important too. So just for good measure, I've come back out here to the chlorine pumps where I tested the mics before to test the noise cancellation one more time. So the Hollyland Lark Mark II noise cancellation is off and on. Now it's on. And the DJI Mic Mini noise cancellation is off and now it's on. So what do we sound like? Do we still sound pretty good, or is my voice robotic now with all the noise right behind me? All right, I'm going home. So the final test I want to do is just noise cancellation without me talking over it. So right now we have both mics in noise cancellation mode. And that's what it sounds like. So Lark Mark II, noise cancellation on and off. And Mic Mini, noise cancellation is on. And now it's off. So what's the difference? Can we tell the difference? I'm guessing yes, but how great is the difference? Which one worked better? Which one kept my voice not sounding crazy? Okay, I gotta be honest. I really wanted to like the Mic Mini a lot more than I like the Lark Mark II. I've been a DJI customer for years. I got drones, I got gimbals, and I got the DJI Mic 2. I got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So I really wanted to stick with DJI. After today, listening to everything from audio quality to noise cancellation to wind reduction and signal to noise ratio, I can't deny it. I can't make myself say the DJI Mic Mini is better, even though I want to, I really want to. So after all of this, after all the wireless mic tests and trying to bargain and see which one I'm gonna keep, I think I'm keeping the Lark Mark II. And that's saying a lot because I really want the Mic Mini to be the mic, you know? But I do have the DJI Mic 2, which works perfectly with the Osmo Pocket 3. So I guess I got that going for me. But the Hollyland is just a better mic for what I'm trying to do. Spec-wise, the DJI might be better, but I don't want to edit audio. And the Lark Mark II just sounds better for what I'm trying to do than the Mic Mini. So after all of this, I got my decision, not the decision I was expecting, to be honest with you, to be completely honest. But here we are. There we go. There you have it. There I have it. So I'm keeping the Lark Mark II, and I'll be selling a brand new DJI Mic Mini. Not even just the Mic Mini. I got the whole set. So I'll be selling the DJI Mic Mini kit. I'll be selling a Hollyland M2S kit. And I guess the DJI one is gone too. So yeah, I'll post that up whenever I make that official. So that's it. That's where we are. Surprise, surprise. Surprise to me, because I just knew that Mic Mini was staying here with me, but I guess not, man. That's crazy. But either way, I'm excited to have a good, great sounding wireless mic that I can just carry around. Hopefully somebody soon makes an aftermarket wind muff for that Lark Mark II, because the one I got, it just, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it. Everything else is pretty great. The noise reduction, the voice does sound a little weird, but comparing the two microphones that I compared today, the audio quality of my voice is not so low that I can't deal with it. And hopefully I won't usually be in situations where I need the noise canceling. But if I do, I guess I can live with the sound that it gives me. Because my test today wasn't so bad, especially standing right next to the noise. Anyway, I'm long-winded. I'm going on and on and on. Thanks for sitting through this with me if you made it this far. Also, if you made it this far, I don't usually do gear review videos like this. It wasn't so much of a review, I guess, but I don't always do videos like this, but I will. I will talk about the gear that I use. I usually talk about my filmmaking, or I vlog about film. I do a lot of stuff here, but I don't do a lot of gear reviews. But if you're interested, feel free to subscribe, share, like, all that fun stuff. Comment if you will, and we'll get to talking in the comments. So till next time, peace.